Who is the last person on the planet who should be commemorating Veterans Day? Well, I think this goes without saying, right? The five-time draft dodger, coward, traitor to the United States of America, Donald. He marked Tuesday's Veterans Day with an appearance at Arlington National Cemetery, and everything about this event was, as we should expect at this point, devoid of the respect and gratitude our veterans deserve. First, Donald showed that he doesn't even know the words to one of our country's national hymns. Take a look at this.
God bless America.
I don't actually care that Donald doesn't know the words to God Bless America. I personally, as somebody who believes in the separation between church and state, don't believe that we should be singing that song at all at official government events. But the fact that he can't stand still, that he's bouncing around like a sugared up toddler, tells me that he doesn't want to be there and could care less about why he was there. Donald, during a speech that was rambling, incoherent, and utterly disrespectful, went on about changing the name of Veterans Day. Check this out.
You know, I was recently at an event and I saw France was celebrating Victory Day, but we didn't. And I saw France was celebrating another Victory Day for World War II. And other countries were celebrating. They were all celebrating. We're the one that won the wars. And I said, from now on, we're going to say Victory Day for World War I and World War II. And we could do for plenty of other wars, but we'll start with those two. Maybe someday somebody else will add a couple of more because we won a lot of good ones.
All right. Despite his complete idiocy there, Veterans Day is not about victory. It's not about any wars we've won. It's not even about any wars we've lost. It's about honor and sacrifice, two things about which Donald Trump knows absolutely nothing. There was another moment that captured Donald's audacity when he lectured our troops about making the ultimate sacrifice, or at least I think that's what he was trying to do. Here's what he said.
Dear God, he said, we ask only this, that if we die, we must die, and we as men would die without complaining, without pleading, and safe in the feeling that we have done our best for what we believed was right. We must do what is right. Colonel Wolverton, too, died for us so bravely in battle.
So many of the people being honored on Veterans Day actually gave their lives fighting fascism. I'm pretty sure they weren't fighting for the right for Donald Trump to turn America into a fascist autocracy. That's just one of the many reasons he has no right to speak about the sacrifices our veterans have made or urge them to make those sacrifices. He has no right to characterize the sacrifices that our veterans have made and continue to make. In fact, the idea that he thinks it's okay for him to talk about paying the ultimate price without complaint is rich coming from the most aggrieved loser on the planet. A man who has never served this country a day in his life and quite openly has disdained those who serve. But before we go on, this is an unprecedented fight we're in, and we are stronger together. So please like and share this video, and if you believe in our mission, please subscribe to the Barry Trump Media channel. Because he's not just apathetic about the people who fought and died for this country, he's actively hostile towards them. Remember, in 2023, some awful comments were made public by Donald's former chief of staff, retired general and Iraq veteran John Kelly. Look at this clip.
I think he's unfit for office.
He will always put his own interests and gratifying his own ego ahead of everything else.
Thank you.
And today, Trump's longest-serving former chief of staff, John Kelly, is chiming in with his harshest criticism yet. In an exclusive statement to CNN, Kelly says about Trump, "What can I add that has not already been said?" Calling President Trump, quote, "a person that has no idea what America stands for and has no idea what America is all about." For the first time ever, Kelly sets the record straight with on-the-record confirmation of a number of damning details about Donald Trump from background sources, including from a 2020 Atlantic story reported with unnamed sources by editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg, including the stunning detail that Trump turned to Kelly on Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery in 2017 and asked, "I don't get it. What was in it for them?" This is Kelly confirming on the record stories of Trump insulting Senator John McCain and former President George H.W. Bush because in Vietnam and in World War II, respectively, the former aviators were shot down. Kelly describes Trump as, quote, "a person that thinks those who defend their country in uniform or are shot down or seriously wounded in combat or spend years being tortured as POWs are all, quote, suckers because, quote, there is nothing in it for them."
Thousands of veterans across the country spent Veterans Day protesting Donald's use of the military to enforce his cruel, illegal, and unconstitutional immigration policies. Fox 32 Chicago spoke to U.S. Army veteran Artie Walker Patakotola in the lead up to the protests, and here's what she had to say.
Given the fact that ICE is occupying our communities, in some communities we have military and National Guard members occupying our communities, that veterans really needed to stand together with working class people and speak out against this administration.
Vets Say No rallies are planned for here in Chicago as well as cities across the country to stand against not only the use of the military in immigration actions, but also the tactics of ICE agents and Border Patrol on immigrants and citizens alike.
As veterans, we, sign up to, really protect everyone, and no one is being protected by this administration's tactics. No one is being made safer. In fact, our communities are being made more unsafe by what ICE is doing and what the military is doing on our streets.
ABC 7 Chicago covered a downtown demonstration in which veterans gathered peacefully to speak out against the Trump regime's abuses of power. Take a look at this.
As service members, we swore an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's right. That oath still matters and requires all of our courage to defend it.
The group calling out the Trump administration and Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino, challenging what they call the militarization of both foreign policy and domestic law enforcement.
Air Force veteran Judson Wager rallied with over 500 other veterans in Washington, D.C. He told independent military outlet Stars and Stripes that, quote, "we are in the middle of an authoritarian takeover of our government. People are getting worried, but they don't fully realize what's going on," unquote. A growing number in the military community are speaking out against the Trump regime. Today, Lieutenant General Russell L. Honore saluted veterans by writing an op-ed for MSNBC. He stated in part, quote, "America is in trouble. From our nation's capital to Chicago and Portland, Oregon, the President of the United States has deployed U.S. troops on American soil. Meanwhile, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, rather than patrolling our country's points of entry, is terrorizing civilians across the nation, assaulting and kidnapping people in plain sight. So today, even as I am honoring my fellow veterans, I'm also sounding the alarm for all my fellow Americans. Our democracy is in peril, and it will take all of us doing our part to protect it," unquote. Donald has no respect for people currently serving in our military, as evidenced by the way he is using them to engage in illegal attacks on boats in the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. In fact, a retired military lawyer, Lieutenant Colonel Rachel Van Landingham, has referred to those attacks as murder. So if Donald won't stop at giving active service members illegal orders, why should he have any respect for those who have already served? please take a second and like and share this video. Be awesome if you could subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to us in podcast form, please follow us and give the show a 5-star rating because it really does help other people find our content. Thanks.